Hello, my name is Carol Frechette, Wabashki Migizi, and I work with Indigenous Relations at the City of Winnipeg. A garden has been planted at City Hall to honor the families and survivors of murdered and missing Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirited people. This garden is meant to raise awareness of the National Inquiry 231 Calls to Justice, and specifically the 8 calls to justice for individuals. I want to first thank Elder Carolyn Moore for blessing the garden and for her prayer to follow. I would also like to thank Tracy Liost, a young Indigenous advocate and activist for families and survivors of murdered, missing Indigenous women, girls, Two-Spirit, for inspiring messages, and lastly, Jolene Wilson for her song and drum.
My name is Carolyn Moore. I walk with Two-Spirit, names Blue Sky Woman, Morning Star, and I'm from the Deer Clan. When I introduce myself to Creator, it's Soshawashko Gijko Kwe Wabanu Nung Dishnakaz Wawashkashi Dudam. So we're here for a very important reason. It's our missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. We got to remember that our women are sacred. They were sacred. They were mothers. They were aunties. They were cousins. They were daughters. They were nieces. And they were loved. And so we have to keep reminding everyone the importance of the justice calls. So please think about that. And I'll say a prayer. Creator, it's Soshawashko Gijko Kwe Wabanu Nung Dishnakaz Wawashkashi Dudam. Oh Creator, our beautiful sisters are with you, and you're there with them to give them the love that they should have had here. Please, Creator, walk with us. Walk with us women through our journeys, because just to walk alone is very dangerous, Creator. And as we're walking, help us to feel that guidance and wisdom that you can give us to take care of us and keep our journeys safe. Ho miigwech, all my relations.
Tansha, Tracy Liost, Piogichida Ikwe, Nishinakashun, Saint Laurent, Manitoba, Trerear, Gyototan. My name is Tracy Liost. My spirit name is Ogichida Ikwe. It means warrior woman, and I come from Saint Laurent, Manitoba, and Treaty 1 territory, the heart and homeland of the Métis Nation. So I, as an Indigenous young person, didn't become aware of the epidemic of missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit people until I was in high school in my very first Indigenous Studies class. And that was kind of the first time that anyone had made it aware to me and my peers that as an Indigenous woman, simply because of who I was and where I came from, that I wasn't always going to be safe or protected, and that even on my homelands, that didn't mean that I could always be protected. And we had to do a project, and then that project just kind of influenced some more curiosity about like why this issue, or why people weren't caring, and it felt like at that point in my life and the people that I was around and the education system that I was in, that people around me weren't talking about the issue and then weren't taking it seriously. So the summer of grade 11 in 2015, I ran 115 kilometers in 4 days for missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit people. And in those 4 days, I ran from my community to the MMIWG2S monument at the Forks. And I was able to raise over $6,000 for a local organization that helps the families and victims affected in any way that they can. And then that was kind of the first step to being really engaged in my community. And I kind of just fell in love with being able to like connect with people, but also speak about things that were important to us, and find and create this platform where families could also share those stories, so that for the first time it felt like people were actually listening to stories that needed to be told. And it's really just continued over the last now 6 years, being involved in the community and speaking on a global platform about the issue, and trying to raise awareness. In my learning and being more kind of reclaiming identity and becoming closer connected to my community and getting to spend time with elders, I've come to realize the power in our matriarchs, who are quite literally the backbone of our identity and who have carried us through time and time again. And there's a Cree word that's called iskateo, and it means home fire, and that's actually how we refer to Indigenous women and Two-Spirit people, is the home fires, both of our families and our communities, but our larger nations. And I think there's a lot of beauty in that knowing that you're equipped with power, and that goes through generations, and our ancestors have passed on those teachings. And I think the most beautiful thing is that even though there's trauma that is woven into our bloodlines that we don't have any control of, there's a lot of strength and beauty too, and that you can always fall back on your culture and your community to carry you through, and that in accepting those sorts of things, again, you take back your power and your space. And I think that's part of the solution, is that Indigenous women, girls, Two-Spirit people start to take their power back. I definitely believe that all change starts with awareness, so that the more people know, the better, and being able to connect them to knowing those sorts of things, having simple conversations. I think especially that we're located on Treaty 1 territory, it's not acceptable anymore to not know, especially when Indigenous women are being taken on their own lands and their bodies are being harmed on their own lands where they should be safe. So firstly, having people aware that that's an issue, and then second, the encouragement and empowerment of letting them know that there's a lot of work you can do on your own. One place that I think is a really good place to start, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed and trying to educate yourself and understand the epidemic of missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit people, that the National Inquiry released calls to justice, and there is a list of individual calls to justice. The report shares all of the information they found. That includes information from community hearings and family hearings. Families and victims testified about their experiences, and were very vulnerable in sharing what had occurred to them, and that information led to the calls to justice. And there is the individual calls to justice, and that's a really important place to start, considering the work is almost done for you. You don't need to dig any deeper. It is all right there. It tells you the things that you can be doing and how to implement those things in your individual life, your larger community. And if we can all individually take those steps, then again, that creates a larger impact. And then we're all doing the right things so that we can start to kind of better what is happening to our Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit people.
Each one of us can do our part to learn more and find ways to support the families of murdered, missing Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit people. Thank you.
Way